I'm Sarah Gore, and this is Open House NYC. This week, designers and architects share their stylish solutions for getting the most out of every square inch of a small space. We check out Loft Living LA style with designer Gabrielle Aker. And we're in the city of brotherly love for a modern take on a classic row house. Stylish stager Cheryl Eisen invites us into her own chic Upper East Side apartment. Plus, we're in SoHo to learn how to live smarter and smaller from an entrepreneur's perspective. But first, we're in Chelsea to check out how one architect subverted the classic studio apartment.
The design was inspired by a Swiss Army knife. Whether you need a bedroom or a dining space, it actually unfolds as you need it.
Today, we are all about efficient future living with homes that prove you don't have to sacrifice style, even in a small space. And we kick things off in Chelsea at a studio apartment dubbed Pivot. See how architect Gabrielle Aker used the limitations of the space to create an entertainer's dream home, perfect for hosting, working, dining, and yes, sleeping. Check it out.
Hi, my name is Gabrielle Aker. I'm an architect in New York City that specializes in residential design. This project is called Pivot. It's a 400 square foot pre-war apartment that we renovated for a client that loves to entertain. The design was inspired by a Swiss Army knife. Whether you need a bedroom or a dining space, it actually unfolds as you need it. It was agreed from the beginning that we would expand the space as much as possible and take advantage of the dramatic views towards the west and the generous sunlight. It's a very comfortable space for all kinds of environments that can go from formal to informal. The entry closet was quite generous in terms of depth, so for us what made sense was instead of putting a normal door, we would build up with shelving so it becomes a 1 foot deep shelving system. The wood that we used here and throughout the apartment is ash. It's a wonderful material because of its grain, but it's also very light colored. The perimeter of the space is lined with cabinetry that works really hard to tuck away everything out of sight. An important feature for this space is these cutouts. They're really important for a couple of reasons. The main one is that it's actually the real depth of the room, so it gives you a sense that the room is actually wider than it feels once you put in the cabinets. But also is an opportunity for us to include lighting hidden inside of them, which again works on the optic to kind of visually enlarge the space. The reason it's called Pivot is because this wall right here pivots out, creating two separate spaces. First and foremost, a bedroom. The Murphy bed comes down, it's comfortable and spacious, it's queen size. The space can also be used as a walk-in closet with cabinets that pull out on either side. And when everything is stowed away, it works really well as like an exercise area or a reading nook. A cool design feature that we developed is the back panel of the niche can be opened up by stowing away the flaps, which gives you a direct line of sight towards the exterior. But there's a sliding door that allows you to completely close up the space, so it's quiet, serene, and dark. Our idea here was to turn the whole bathroom into a shower, essentially. We got rid of the bathtub and sloped the floor towards the drain. There's an inconspicuous glass door that pivots to create a shower when you need it. We chose an extra wide sink because it allows two people to use the bathroom at the same time. We use mahogany, which is a tropical wood, because it's much more resistant in a wet environment. The kitchen was a formally enclosed space that was drab and dark, so we opened it up to the rest of the home so the client can have a much better connection with his guests while he's cooking. The kitchen is still very compact, but it works very hard using every square inch for maximum efficiency. The materials we chose are stainless steel with a backsplash, stone for the countertop, and painted enamel for the exterior of the cabinets, all in various shades of gray. We chose this color palette to give the kitchen its own unique identity. Storage is hidden in imaginative ways. One such example is the backsplash that raises up, revealing all your kitchen essentials. Another interesting feature is a table that rises up at the push of a button. So it goes from a dining table to a kitchen island, doubling your counter space. As with every piece of furniture in this home, the table is very versatile. Flaps open up on each side, allowing 10 people to sit around it, or it can be used as a centerpiece for a home office, which was actually one of my client's requirements. You know, the Swiss Army knife metaphor only really helps to give you an idea about the technology, but for us it's much more about creating a stage for daily living. It's a balance between the technology that we had to deploy, but doing it in a way which kind of creates a sense of serenity and spaciousness. Pivot completely reimagines the studio apartment. It's a brand new type of space for the future of urban living, one that is flexible, sustainable, and most of all, invigorating.
Coming up next, we are in SoHo to take a look at a smart and small home with entrepreneur Graham Hill. Stick around. Welcome back. Now we're in SoHo with designer and entrepreneur Graham Hill. Graham founded the company Tree Hugger in 2004 when he realized our impact was detrimental to the environment. He believes that by applying smart design, technology, and a little behavior change, we can create smarter and smaller ways of living. And that's exactly the philosophy he brought to his own apartment. See what I mean?
Hi, I'm Graham Hill. I'm a designer and entrepreneur. This is my apartment in New York City. My company is called Life Edited. We're experts in small space design, and so we're very good at maximizing functionality in a beautiful manner with a very low environmental footprint. So this apartment is called LE2. It's in a great area on Sullivan in SoHo. It's at the top of the building, and I got light from both sides. It's so great cross ventilation. So one of the most important rooms in this space is this room. And this room has basically 3 functions. The first sort of general iteration of this space is the bedroom. And so we have a Murphy bed, and you easily sort of pull it down and the couch tucks away. Acoustics are very important. We got offcuts from Filt's felt, this beautiful kind of felt, and we made this really cool wall that looks beautiful, but is also very functional. It really sucks up the sound. So I love to entertain with the transforming Resource Furniture coffee table that triples in height and doubles in length, and the portable storage couches. We can orient them around this and literally have a dinner for 10 people. Storage is very important. Probably to everyone, but particularly to New Yorkers. And so there's storage literally on every wall, almost floor to ceiling. So on the opposite side of the space is the kitchen and the office. But the beauty of the office is that it's also a guest bedroom. And we have a Huffcore accordion wall that is hidden, tucked into a cabinet. And so you're able to pull that out and close it off when you want. You can really wall it off and have acoustic and visual privacy. So the kitchen's small, but it's beautifully designed and it has a ton of light. One of my favorite parts is the marble that we use on the wall and the full counter. It's called Litho Verde. It's essentially recycled marble. It lasts forever. It looks gorgeous. So what we've done is we've created a great place to live with all the functionality that you need. And I believe, and I've lived here for a while, it really leads to a happier life.
Coming up, stager extraordinaire and friend of the show, Cheryl Eisen, invites us over to her own Upper East Side home. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Regular viewers of our show will recognize the elegant, minimalist aesthetic of in-demand stager Cheryl Eisen. Now she invites us into her own Upper East Side apartment where, through the strategic placement of mirrors, low-profile furnishings, and muted tones, she has made the space feel much bigger than it actually is. See for yourself.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Eisen, President of Interior Marketing Group. Like about 65% of all New Yorkers, I'm a renter, which means I'm limited in what I can do with my home. Today, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks on how I created my dream home out of a white box rental with only 1 closet. Generally, I'm working with huge properties, penthouses, townhouses, estates. But my home is significantly smaller, at just 12 feet wide. So I wanted every area to make its own design statement, yet still feel cohesive. And remember, it only has 1 closet, so I had to come up with imaginative ways to create hidden storage, because there's nothing worse in a small space than clutter. This is your basic apartment foyer, but because it's configured between the loft stairs and the powder room, I was definitely limited with what I could do. And there's no coat closet, of course, so I arranged these sculptural hooks to hang my purse, to hang my coat, and it's perfect because the stairs sort of keep it hidden from the rest of the home. And speaking of hidden, if you're a New Yorker, you know there's two things in your foyer, an intercom and a fuse box. That makes hanging art on that wall pretty much impossible. But I came up with a solution for that. I put a hinge on the left side of this framed piece of art so I can access the panels whenever I want. This is the kitchen that came with the place, and you definitely can't change a kitchen in a rental. But I took full advantage of this L-shaped breakfast bar, which I happen to be sitting on. But instead of using it for just stools, I created this dining banquette, which gives me a dedicated chic formal dining area. And I love how there's still room for these two funky counter stools. Because of the double height ceilings, this is my favorite part of this home. But I still used every trick in my design arsenal to really maximize every inch. For starters, I created this dramatic mirror installation that goes all the way up to the ceiling and doubles the visual size of this room. Neutral tones define me as a designer, but to keep it interesting, I layer various textures throughout. For example, grass cloth wallpaper, linen drapes, shagreen coffee table, and a marble media unit. In a rental, there's never a J-box where you want it, but statement lighting is key to any well-designed room. Here, I hung 5 pendants from the ceiling and hid the cord with cord cover. Now I have my statement lighting and the room feels complete. Up here is my bedroom. It overlooks the living room, so it shares the same beautiful light. At the foot of a bed, I always make sure to create chic functionality. There's a reading nook in the corner and this dresser/desk/vanity. I flanked 3 pendants using the same cord cover trick I did in the living room. I paneled the headboard and flanked the bed with mirrors. This adds that regal touch of luxury that your bedroom should always have. Oh, and if you can, get a bed with storage underneath. It always comes in handy. By checking out what I've done in my home, I hope you can see that even if you rent, you can still maximize space while bringing in style and personality into your home. And you'll never have to worry whether you get your security deposit back.
Coming up in just a few, we head to the city of brotherly love for a futuristic homage to a classic Philly row house. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Now we're in Philadelphia with architect Brian Phillips. Philly is actually on the forefront of future living, and there's no better example of that than this property, fittingly called the Tiny Tower. This modern adaptation of a classic Philadelphia row house makes the most of its small footprints by going vertical. We join Brian for a tour.
Hi, I'm Brian Phillips, principal at ISA, and welcome to Brewery Town, Philadelphia. The future of city living is small, and I designed this project to explore this idea. This is a 6-level, 1,100 square foot row house on a 12-foot wide lot. We call it Tiny Tower. To accentuate the idea of the tower, we used metal panel with strong vertical lines. In and among the old brick row houses of the block, we wanted to create a new, fresh image for this house. And the architectural interest continues on the inside. Let's take a look. One of the big design ideas was to give the traditional Philadelphia row house stair a twist by putting it in the front. It gets light, and it's actually an experience unto itself. It also allowed us to put very large windows in the stair, and this perforated metal guardrail acts literally as a shade. Staying with the convention of the typical Philadelphia row house, you walk into the living space. One of the main challenges I had here was how do you connect spaces vertically instead of horizontally? In most new Philadelphia row houses, the living room and the kitchen are on the same floor. We didn't have the space here, so the kitchen is in the basement. But by using the cutout in the rear of the room, we're able to allow people to talk to each other and for the food smells to travel upstairs. Here in the living room, you can start to see how the house was built. There's some exposed steel here, which we liked showing, but it costs less money because we're not spending the time and material to cover it up. Not only is this project about spatial innovation, but it's also about affordability and modesty and really thinking about how people should be living in the present and future. The kitchen's in the basement, and every floor in Tiny Tower is the same size, so the kitchen having its own floor actually makes it a nice size. We look to maximize the space of the kitchen by putting a large window in the back. And I wanted to maximize the experience in all the rooms of the house, and here in the kitchen there's enough room for a table where you can get work done and hang out. And it's well appointed with a full array of appliances and great storage. The way we maximized space was to make all the floors very flexible. Each of these rooms really can be used as a bedroom or maybe something else, and right now this is being used as a home office. All the lightly colored finishes and materials throughout the house give it a lot of cohesion. And again, through the use of a very large window, lots of light is coming in and the spaces feel bigger than they are. This is the top floor of the house with the master bedroom. It's here to maximize privacy. The floor has an ensuite bath. It has everything you need in compact form. There's a lot of natural light in the house, which makes the spaces feel bright. We also used light strips in the corners to enlarge the sizes of rooms using artificial light. Another advantage to keeping spaces simple and uncluttered is its compact, intimate nature makes it soothing and calming. There's another special stair up here that leads out to the roof deck and also provides privacy to the large windows. On a very small lot, there's no room left for the yard. So on the top of the tiny tower is essentially the yard space. From up here, you get incredible views of Brewery Town, and we wanted to make sure this was part of the design. And this view of the Philadelphia skyline is not bad either. Thanks for taking a look at my house. I think small houses on small lots can be both functional and inspiring. I hope you've enjoyed a glimpse of the future.
Coming up after the break, we are in Los Angeles for a look at a loft studio that's both rustic and modern. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Open House NYC. Now we're in an industrial loft in downtown LA with designer Gabrielle Aker. Playing off the architectural details of the building, Gabrielle used an eclectic mix of mid-century furnishings, books, and even a pair of swings to creatively maximize this small but open space. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle, principal at O Beauty Interiors, and this is my magical loft. Welcome. This home was a labor of love by my husband and I. Our loft is 886 square feet of gorgeous natural light. For some, designing a loft could be very daunting, but for me, I was very excited about the challenge. Welcome to my home. As soon as people walk in, the first thing they see is the bookshelf. Instead of doing a traditional gallery wall, we decided to let the bookshelf be decor and practical. The colors of the books act as decor, they add color to the space, and they just add to that magical feeling that we were going for. I've never liked the way that TVs look, so as a creative solution, we built in a projector and hid it in the bookshelf. Because of our limited space, we wanted to come up with creative ideas for seating, i.e. the swing. People always love sitting on the swing, and sometimes our friends get a little crazy and decide they're at a park and pump their legs on the swing, which is a big no-no. This is my favorite spot at night with the market lights and all of the natural light that we get from the windows and our comfy couches. It just makes it a really dreamy space to have a glass of wine. Speaking of wine, I've always loved a good bar cart, and I love having beautiful barware to be displayed so that it's accessible to people when they come over and we can make a drink and hang out on the couch and have the market lights above us. And to finish off the living room space, we had a custom coffee table and custom sofa made. The design of the sofa is a platform base with a beautiful white linen fabric and has a really deep seat, so it's really comfortable. Symmetry to me can be a little bit boring, so I liked having the dining table perpendicular to the sofas so it's not too symmetrical throughout the space. For the dining room chairs, I found these gorgeous teak wood chairs that came from Bali, and I also found these beautiful vintage stools, which I felt complemented the natural wood tone of the table. Adjacent to the dining table, a hanging chair continues the playful and magical vibe of the overall loft and connects the dining room with the bedroom. While it's not separate from the rest of the apartment, this little spot becomes a little oasis where I can look out the window, enjoy a drink, chat with friends, and just take in the space. In most spaces, bedrooms can be hidden behind doors, but in this open loft, this bedroom had to be beautifully designed and cohesive with the rest of the space. Even though the brick throughout the apartment is real brick, I decided on a brick wallpaper for behind the bedroom to give texture and add a focal point of interest. Sometimes a little extra effort goes a long way, and it's all in the details. Keeping with the eclectic design of the space, I loved the organic, kind of strange nature of the shape of this wall sconce. The intricate design of the frame of the mirror has a Parisian influence, which I love. And the top frame detailing is inspired by classic French design. When you combine all these elements, along with the white bedding and beautiful textile throw, this bedroom is sophisticated yet comfortable. Thanks for coming by and visiting my magical loft. I hope it's inspiring you to dream a little in your space. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Like what you see on the show? Well, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We have so many more beautiful homes to share. It's all about love. Share these homes, you know?